Recovery plan for a construction project. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that you must do if you want to recover your project if it's starting to go into a downward spiral. And this is key because we don't want any of this mess on your shoulders, and we don't want it to be any harder than it already is. You're already doing an amazing feat. You're accomplishing amazing things if you are trying to pull a project back and recover it. So I'm going to talk to you about some of the key things that you must do, must hold on to, and it works every time. And if you're into that, stay with us. All right, so this is my jam. I love this. In fact, and I'm not bragging, sounds like I'm bragging, but I got so good at this that they kept asking me to do it. And I was like, a good super doesn't recover projects all the time. I prevent these things. And so finally I had to duck out of that and say, no more. I'm gonna spend my time in preventing these. But I'm telling you, I've never been on a bad job myself, but I've recovered multiple projects quite successfully. Let me tell you some things that you must do if you're going to recover a project successfully. You must follow the lean principles that I always show in 6 different categories. Let's do number 1. So respect for people. And by the way, you're going to be like looking at this and judging me, which you should be, because I'm going to ask you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But you're going to be looking at this being like, what is Jay Menny talking about? I want to know how to recover the project. And then I'm going to anchor you back to this. No, this is it. This is what I'm telling you. This is it. Number 1, respect for people. If you get to a project, whether it's yours or somebody else's or you're helping out, you must immediately make sure that you're doing morning worker huddles, that you're literally making sure that you celebrate milestones and that workers have clean bathrooms, a wonderful lunch area, and respectful communications and equal opportunity to bring up issues on site. Here's the deal. Pissed off people will not help you recover this job. So number 1, get in there and make sure that all human systems are up and running right away. Number 2, if you're recovering a project, you must have stability, okay? And this stability means clean, safe, and organized. If you have a project that's like really in trouble and it's dirty, you're gonna spend 1 or 2 days just cleaning it up. Like that's it. Like everybody just stop and reset, clean up the whole job site, follow the 6S system, 5S or 3S, whichever one you want to do. But the bottom line is sort, which means get rid of what you don't need, straighten what you have, everything in its place, right? And then sweep or shine the entire job site. It must happen. You will not have productivity past the stability of the project site. If you need signage, get it. If you need additional infrastructure, get it. If you need huddle boards, get it. If you need additional cleaning supplies, get it. But stability is a must. Now, I know you're probably in a rush and you're probably going to want to push work right away. And I'm telling you, make sure your people are respected. And number 2, make sure that you're stable. Number 3, and this is a big one, you must start to focus on what's called one process flow. Make sure, and this is going to be communicated not only to your project team, but to all workers on site through the morning worker huddle and in the afternoon foreman huddle that, hey, team, we have got to start, do, finish. Plan, build, finish. Plan, build, finish. Don't just start things and not finish them. If we're going to finish this project, we have to get really good at finishing, not starting. And so when you're working in one process flow, that means you're going to go do an activity. And I don't care what it is. Like it could be any size activity, but make sure you never start it without a plan. Make sure that you're building it according to the plan and make sure you're finishing as you go. And so typically what happens is we start to panic right here in the build part, and we just tell people to go build stuff, but it's not done with a plan, so it takes longer, or it's wrong, and you have rework, and then they leave before it's finished. Now you're just accumulating more and more work in progress that's not finished, and it's just going to extend your project life cycle. So get your team in the habit of, no, we plan it first, which is typically a pre-con meeting, we build it right, and we inspect the darn thing as we go, and we finish the darn thing. That's what we have to do. Okay, let's anchor back. Number 4, we need to make sure that we're flowing together. When we flow together, that's typically on attack time. But the bottom line is you'll see most projects that are failing, there's people everywhere. You have to reestablish that flow. That means you have to get the people into a sequence and make sure that they understand the path of flow throughout the building. It's quite fantastic when that happens. Now that's best done on attack time, But if you can't do it on attack time, at least do it on pull. Don't let one contractor start until the other contractor is finished. Let me draw this for you. Let's say that this is a zone and you have a contractor behind this contractor right here that has to come in here. Don't push this contractor on top of the other, right? Help this contractor to finish, finish right here, finish, and then pull that successor contractor into that area. Establish flow. Don't push. This is absolutely key. Now, the other thing is you must have visual systems. When you have visual systems, then this might take just a little bit of time to set up on the project, maybe a week or two, but you're going to want huddle boards. You're going to want a visual production plan that takes you all the way to the finish. And you're going to want visual wayfinding signage so that everybody can see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group. Really, the key here is total participation. So if you've gone to the job site, reestablished respect, stability, and flow, then you've got to make sure that people have visual systems to maintain that flow and that it is seeable, meaning that everybody can see as a group, know as a group, and act as a group by everybody in total participation. Then, number 6, this is going to be your continuous improvement, right? So you're going to want to implement the system and then start improving from there. So these 6 items are the key. I've never seen a project recovery at least get everybody doing these first 3, respect for people, stability, and working in one-piece flow. That's always a prerequisite. Now, the key here is that you must hold to the concept of stability first. There are ways to narrow your overall total project production plan. And I've said this many times before, but you can identify your bottlenecks in your production plan and optimize them. You can zone the remaining portions of the project to where they finish sooner. You can design to the work package, which probably at this point, if you're covering a project, might be too late. Implement the last planner system by doing pull planning, pre-con meetings, look ahead planning, and weekly work planning, and make sure you never, ever, 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 ever increase the work in progress or the work you're asking trades to do above their capacity to do it. So you must hold. And there will be people from corporate that come and say, hey, Jason, we don't have time for bathrooms. Hey, Jason, we don't have time for clean, safe, and organized. They don't need to be cleaning. They just need to rush and go. Hey, just get them starting in these areas. No, 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 no. We're not going to violate this. We are going to hold steady, and everybody around you will ask you to go do stupid things, and you've got to hold the line. Because here's the problem. Here's the problem. Let me show you this. If this is work in progress on the left, WIP, and this is time on the bottom, and this is the capacity of your resources, you're going to have somebody from corporate coming down and saying, hey, let's go ahead and rush and push and panic. We've already been doing that, right? Let's rush and push more and we'll finish here. Well, actually, that's not what's going to happen. You're not going to finish soon. You are going to enter into a downward productivity spiral and you're going to finish late. So this early start from rushing and pushing and panicking was always a lie. You can either finish when I'm telling you you can finish by following this, or you can finish late. And that's just the bare bones facts. Now, there's a couple of things that I want to talk to you about. You must, just to finish this off, these are golden nuggets. You must manage your change orders, right? On the project, let's say that's a floor, they're going to change a room or there's going to be something over here. Don't let your trades get distracted. Move them around these and make sure that these are covered as separate, okay? It's a separate crew, separate change order, separate management. Keep your eye focused on the main contract work. That is the best way to finish a recovering project. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is make sure that you inventory materials, okay? Especially if you're at the end, you want to make sure that you're not missing anything. So you're going to want to go through or delegate this however you want to do it. Go through all the plans, go through all the specs, look at your inventory and see if there's anything missing and get it on its way. The third thing that I would recommend is make sure that your production plan has a complete path to finish, okay? The path to finish means that we know all of the details all the way to the end, clearly articulated with commissioning and with final testing. And then the last thing that I want to say in addition to the path to finish, number 4, is focus, and this is a big one, focus more on pre-planning, okay? When people get in trouble, they start to abandon the pre-con meeting. They start to abandon the pull plans. They start to abandon the afternoon foreman huddles. They start to abandon the look aheads. No, 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 no. Still pull plan every phase. Still do a pre-con meeting 3 weeks ahead. Still do look ahead planning. Still do weekly work planning. Still make sure we're removing roadblocks, because if we don't have time to just accidentally happen upon a roadblock and fix it, then we'd better spend the couple of minutes or 20 minutes that it took to prevent it in the first place. So this is really the key. This is bare bones. I will link you to 2 podcasts that cover this topic, and we'll put this into a Canva graphic. But if you're ever called to recover a project, this is the bare bones model, but you have to hold it clean and steady, and you have to make sure that you focus more on flow than push. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.